Hello, welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be bringing you a message from the Bortoise, the bull tortoise. We have masculinity, objectivity, leadership with the bull. And then we have home is where the heart is with the tortoise. Also a very protective, slow, methodical, moving energy. Yeah. Bulls are kind of the opposite of tortoises in the way of speed, right? And aggression. But this is a pretty powerful combo, which is why I actually looked for an image related to this just to see what would come up. And it's like a thumbnail from a YouTube video, I guess somebody who makes animal hybrids for fun. So this is what we're working with here. You can see bull and tortoise equals the ultimate power hybrid. So, the ultimate power hybrid. And futuristic visions. So we are looking into the future today, I would say. Yes. But this could be as a result of your present state. You may have had to slow down recently, but also continue to move forward in this masculine energy of like taking charge of the situation, right? It's like you're charging forward, but you're doing it in a very methodical and protected manner. In a very, this is a great energy. It's very balanced. It's super balanced. Like, these are the perfect balance to each other, right? So, that being said, I also have the moon on the bottom of the tarot for the pre-shuffle. So we are working in the realms of the unconscious, the unknown, the dark and scary, right? And the Four of Pentacles kind of jumping out at me, that was underneath. So something to do with your foundations, material foundations. Oh, look at that. We have the Emperor. Speaking of the bull, right? Or the ram, rather. So you have Aries, Pisces coming through pretty strongly, as well as Taurus. And on the archetypes, these are the two that fell out while I was doing the pre-shuffle, the Forest and Anima Mundi. So we have, once again, this idea of like the unknown, the dark, scary forest, right? But also, everything. Anima Mundi, it's the world, it's completion, it is all that is. The fertile soil from which everything springs forth, right? So pretty interesting mystical energies to start the reading off. Before I pull cards, I just want to give a shout out to Mercury, the planetary energy I will be connecting to through this message. Mercury is currently in Sagittarius. If you look at the position we can see with our eyes and telescope at this time, this is known as true sky, real sky astrology. Not that there's anything wrong with Western tropical or sidereal astrology, it's just I like this system. And the other ones are good too, in different ways. They're just different lenses to look at the same thing. The movements of the planets and the angles that they make to each other, the aspects they make to each other, and their position in the sky, and what that means symbolically when we interpret it. So, you can see I have this set to January 7th, which is today. It's about 1:05 p.m. where I am now. That is mountain time. And it's kind of interesting because the Sun, Venus, and Mars are all pretty tightly conjunct right now from, our observations from the Earth. And pretty interesting. And all of these planets are in Sagittarius. So if we look at the true sky chart really quick, you can see there's Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Put the sun glyph over here, but it's actually here with Mars and Venus. I don't know why it printed it over here, but its ticker is right here. And Mercury's ticker is right here at 11 degrees. You can see the Sun's at 20, Venus is at 20, Mars is at 20. They're very tightly conjunct. All in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is heavily activated right now, and that is a fire sign, and it's all about direction and movement and goals and focus and adventure, right? So you could be expanding your horizons as it relates to things you've never done before, and being very focused and goal driven around that as well. I know for me, I've been sick basically since, you know, right after Christmas, after the New Year. It's been rough, and I'm finally feeling a lot better now. And I actually sat down the other day and wrote out a daily schedule for me to stick to all the different things that I want to do. And this is one of them, making these videos and keeping this channel going. So, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Action. Forward moving action. But yeah, Mercury is like right on the border of the 8th house here. So intimacy, shared resources, hidden things, right? The energy of the moon, kind of. Dark scary forest, right? We're all in this together. We all share the resources of the earth. So in that way you can see the 8th house is kind of like all encompassing. But also it comes at many different levels, given the way we structure our society and culture, right? So family units, share resources intimately, right? Groups of friends even, or business partners, or groups of businesses that partner together. Yeah, it can be seen on many different levels. But Mercury is all about the intellect and the mind, and math, science, communication, those kinds of things. So we are thinking of this from a very analytical, logical perspective with Mercury here. Alright, let's get this reading started. I'm going to get a random saying. Spirit, please give us the most appropriate saying for the message coming through today. Thank you very much. If you don't stop it, you'll go blind. Oh, that's a weird saying. This is a very weird saying. It almost it reminds me of when I was really young and my cousin and I at my Nana's house would sit very close to, like right up near the TV. And every time, like, my Nana or my granddaddy or any adult would see us doing that, they'd be like, it's essentially this: you better stop it or you'll go blind. Like, scoop back, you're going to ruin your vision, right? So, there's a connection there. The thread. I see it, I get it. Maybe you're too close to something. You need to step back a little bit. Like, you're really gung-ho about something right here with the bull. But you need to maybe lean more a bit into the tortoise energy and kind of like pull back a little bit and take it a little slower. Protect yourself, right? Protect your vision. Because if you're getting too close to something, if you're so close, like, imagine you're like talking to somebody and you're like looking at their arm and you're just like this and talking to them, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a very comfortable position. It's not conducive for the conversation, for them to talk back to you, right? To have good eye contact, like, yeah. So that's the kind of energy I'm getting from this saying here. Maybe you're a little bit too close to something. You just need to kind of like pull back a little bit so you can see the bigger picture, right? All right. Figure, and then I will pull some cards. Wow, this one comes through so much. Music. I played my guitar earlier today, and it was really nice. My voice has pretty much been shot, and even today it's kind of rough. But I strummed and sang anyway because I wanted to. And yeah, this idea of like being in tune with something, becoming in harmony. The idea of music, right? Like being on time. The rhythm going, you got the melody locked in, all your strings are in tune. It's kind of like a tune-up. That's what it's giving me. It's like a tune-up. So a step back and a tune-up. Just kind of like step back from something that maybe you're getting too like myopically focused on, and then just kind of like check your instruments, retune them, right? Take it nice and slow. Move forward, but nice and slow. The Torbull. The Bortoise. I don't know. The Toll. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's keep this lovely image up here and pull some more cards. Alright, Spirit. Whoa. Okay. Judgment. Yes. Inner calling. What are you being called to do? What are you being called towards? What is screaming at you from the heavens, saying, follow me? So we are looking at some kind of path here. There's a first quarter moon in the background here. We're actually coming up on a third quarter moon on the 10th, in 3 days from now as I record this. This is a timeless message, so whenever it finds you, it can still be relevant to your life. So you might be close to a first quarter moon. You might want to look that up and see when the next first quarter moon is for you when you see this message. Let's see. What else, Spirit? Judgment always makes me think of North Node energy, because it's like a wake-up call, or like you're following the sound of something. Once again, this idea of like music and harmony coming through with this angel in the clouds. You know, she's just like, ah, and the animals below are like, I'm here. I know you can't really see them on this, but yeah, maybe that angle you can kind of see them better. A bear and a deer there, I believe. Yeah. But it's just a very harmonious picture, and it's like, yes, you're hearing the call, and you are striding towards it, but maybe you're being a little bit reckless. Bulls can be, they can be reckless, like the saying, the bull in a china shop, right? So you need to balance it with the energy of the tortoise. Oh, okay, we got the Two of Swords. Decisions. Yeah, reflection. We got another first quarter moon. So 2 first quarter moons coming out. Confirmation here. The next first quarter moon coming around whenever you see this could be very significant for you related to the message today. So this indicates a pause or a pulling back, right? Like I said, like an evaluation. Taking your action and kind of like resting for a minute and just being like, okay, let me kind of like tune myself up, tune my instruments up, the things I use in order to follow my calling. Let me make sure everything's in order before I go and start taking action again. Because it's almost like you're trying to run through a forest. We got the Hierophant popping out here too. This is, could be like a revelation or learning or even teaching. But something being revealed in some way. It can also represent larger institutions, so maybe a connection to a larger institution or a business of some kind. But anyway, it's almost like this bull energy is running through the forest, right? And it's a very dark forest, and you can't really see where you're going, but you're just running full steam through it, and you keep running into trees. You just keep hitting trees. And it's like everything you need is around, right? Anima Mundi. It's all there. But as you can see, maybe as you can see, in the center of this image, there's a person meditating. And that's seems to be the advice that's coming through here, is to pause, right? 2 of Swords. Put your thoughts down, stop taking action. You know, maybe you've been overthinking a lot. My mind has been running a million miles an hour. It's been really hard for me to get to sleep at night lately, which is weird because normally I can fall asleep so easily. This is a very odd time period for me. But yeah, it's like I got a bull in my brain that just won't slow down, and I need the tortoise to come in and be like, hey, let's just, okay? But yeah, so yeah, if you're a bull running through this dark forest and you can't see where you're going, and you keep running into trees, and then you just keep running anyway, and you run into another tree, it's like, okay, well maybe let's not run full steam ahead. Maybe let's just kind of like jog through the forest, like at a steady pace, so we can see where we're going, and we can look out for these obstacles in our way, and instead of running directly into them, we can kind of like go this way, go that way, you know, swerve in and out around them so we can make it through this forest, right? The forest holds many lessons and a lot of wisdom for us. Yeah, lessons, right? The Hierophant. This is also Taurus energy. So very heavy on Taurus, on like strong foundation, strong material foundations, being very secure, but not too quick to move. Slow and steady. I want to say the tortoise and the hare, but we don't have the hare here today. We have the bull, which is interesting, you know. Okay, so I had 2 cards fall out. The Hanged Man, this is the pause that I keep talking about. We have a 3rd quarter moon there in the background. Like I said, at the time of this recording, the next 3rd quarter moon's on January 10th. I think this is going to be a significant day. In one of my last readings, I had mentioned January 3rd was going to be a significant day, and for the world it was, because Nicolas Maduro was captured by the USA, which has a lot of implications for many different countries, not just the USA and Venezuela. But things like that. Like something big could be happening on that day. Feel that energy coming through. Page of Swords. Yeah, this is the studious energy. Like, see how he's got his sword down, but also he's got his hands on it and he's ready to go, but he's not moving. He's standing there and he's looking and observing and collecting information. He's becoming aware of his environment before taking steps, so that when he does take a step, it's a step in the right direction. It's not running into a tree, full force. Awesome. Yeah, I like where this is going. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, another kind of like pausing, balancing, weighing your options, right? Kind of energy. Also, another 3rd quarter moon. So we have 1st quarter moon, 1st quarter moon, crescent moon in the Hierophant that he is sitting on in the center here. 3rd quarter moon on the Hanged Man. 1st quarter moon on the Page of Swords, so that's 3 1st quarter moons, and then another 3rd quarter moon with the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. So, yeah, all these cards are screaming to me. Like, you're hearing your calling and you are following it, but maybe you're following it too fast. Maybe you need to just slow down just a little bit. Take some time, pause. Reflect on your environment, what you've learned so far, how you can apply it going forward, how you can avoid the obstacles in front of you. And just be aware, right? This Page of Swords, this version of it says awakened on the bottom. So just wake up and look around and use all of your senses, right? Mercury. We want to take in all the information we can, but not be overwhelmed by it. Take it in. Breathe, pause, meditate if you are so inclined, or at least just do some breathing exercises, just a 3 nice, really deep breaths in, and when you're breathing out, nice and slow through the mouth, and just don't immediately breathe in again, but just hold that out breath. Once you run out of air, just hold it, and then breathe in again, and just do that 3 times every once in a while throughout your day. It'll help your nervous system to calm down and not be so like, I gotta go, I get this, where's the rush, I know our culture, our society pressures us to want to behave that way, to always be in a rush and always feel like we're out of time and we need to go and do the most always. But that leads you to running into trees in the dark forest that you are currently in. You're going through you're learning something new right now. You're in this phase of learning something new, and you want to just go through it, but you need to just... And I can relate to this because I am dipping my toes into trading, and it is hard. I have done nothing but lose money so far. Not a lot of money. I'm being very smart about how much I'm willing to risk per trade, and I'm doing very small trades just to see if I can get my theories right, my trade setups and all of that. I just want to see, is it possible, to consistently, make small gains here and there using specific strategies, right? And it's interesting. I've learned a lot by doing this, but I've also, I keep thinking like, oh, I need to get in on this trade right now because it's a really good setup and I just need to go and type in the numbers and go. And then like, I'll do it, and in theory it was good, but I didn't take into account like, oh, the fees for this specific platform. Now it's not a profitable trade at all because I had to pay $10 in fees and I was only going to make $7. right? It's just little things like that. It's like that's what I'm trying to say is you need to be more aware of your environment, right? More aware of your environment, more in tune with your senses, right? That's what Taurus is all about. It's the senses, the five senses, the physical. So, this message is super relevant to me. I can see that. So I just want to say thank you, Spirit, right after that. But let's go a little bit deeper. I always like to get some nouns to go a layer deeper. Let's see what comes through. All right. We've got lock. It gives 12, and I've recently picked up on that I can use these as the 12 houses. So that's how I like to interpret these words when they come up. So first house, we have lock. So this is like locking down your identity, right? You know who you are. You've probably changed a lot in the past year, in the 9-year, 2025, right? Now we're in a 1-year, 2026. This is the beginning of a brand new cycle for all of us in the year 2026. So locking down this new personality you have crafted for yourself as you wound down the old you in the previous cycle, and now you're starting to embody all these new traits in this new one. 2, distribution. Second house, this is value. This can be monetary, physical things, material things, but it's also what you value as in like ethical things, moral things, emotional. You can value things at any level, but it's just like where you put your idealistic version of things, right? So, for example, I value my new outlook on life through a spiritual lens because it has awakened a part of me that I thought died and was never going to come back. But it's back now, and it integrated very well with who I was before and created this new me, right? It brought me into this new awareness of life and all the things that are possible, and given me this really sturdy foundation, right? The second house, which is correlated with Taurus. So heavy emphasis on this, but distribution here. So yeah, it's distributing your values, right? It's distributing everything that you consider worthwhile around you. Sharing. It's like this idea of sharing, right? Science in the third house. This is the Gemini house, right? This is the house of relation, close relations, right? And learning, but like intimate learning. So that's perfect, yeah. Third house, science. So there is a science to whatever it is for you that you're learning now. And you have to learn the ins and outs, and you have to test the boundaries and make your theories and prove or disprove them, and all that good stuff that science has taught us to do. Fourth house, we've got bushes. So fourth house is the home, family, roots, foundations, and bushes. Bushes are shrubs or plants, right, that surround often houses to make them look nicer. So it's like a decoration. You might want to check the bushes around your house, maybe. I'm getting that coming through, but yeah, it's kind of giving me this idea of like sprucing up the environment around your foundations, right? Like I was saying, like taking the time to pause, sit there and tune up things. Just kind of trim the bushes, right? Trim the hedges. Make them look nicer, bring everything back into order, and then once you have your environment in harmony, then you can begin to take action from a stable place, from a place that feels good. It's that idea of feng shui, right? It's like the energy of your environment is going to influence how you feel on the inside as well, because everything has a frequency. And the frequency of your environment is going to affect you. So make sure that you like your environment. I'm not saying it has to be perfectly clean or anything like that. I'm just saying it has to feel good to you. So if you don't feel good in your environment, well, get your environment in order. Get your house in order. 5, bait. The fifth house is Leo, and this is like passion, creativity, right? It also can be a house of like dramatic things. But bait, yeah. So this is, yeah, I love that word for the fifth house. Don't take the bait. There may be some dramatic things going on around you that you're like slightly aware of, and it's okay. You should be aware of that, right? Keep it in your awareness, right? Be awake, be aware, but don't take the bait. Don't get involved more than you have to, right? Obviously, there are some levels of drama in all of our lives, but you choose how involved you want to be with it, right? You hold that power. So, don't let it overtake you. Don't let these like passionate things sweep you up into getting distracted from your goal, your focus, right? Your slow and steady, committed, methodical movement, right? Action-oriented, but slow and steady and protected movement towards your calling. Let's see. 6th house. Suit. 6th house is the house of health and service to others. So suit up. Yeah, this is that idea of like, once again, it's the idea of like your environment influences how you feel, but also the way you dress and the way you prepare. For a while, because I was sick, I was just spending all day in the clothes I slept in, and like, just feeling really like, oh god. I just felt miserable all day. And then I realized, like, okay, I might still be feeling kind of cruddy from being sick, but I can start to shift this feeling by stepping into the healthier version of myself. So I would try to, just recently I started doing, in the past 2 days, I'm saying this is very recent, wake up early, do a workout that's like, not as intense as I normally do it, but just enough to get my blood flowing, because I'm still recovering, so I don't want to overdo it, right? Gotta know your limits. But it made me feel better, right? And I do my stretches and get back into my healthy routines that I had developed over the past year. Because with the holidays and being sick, that's like a double whammy of like throwing me completely off the track. So maybe you got thrown off your track too around this time. But yeah, it's time to suit up. Put on the clothes that make you feel good, take care of yourself, trim up your facial hair if you have it, or whatever you do to beautify yourself. Yeah, just make yourself feel good, because then you're going to feel better when you're doing things. 7th house, this is the mirror house to me. This is the other. It's the opposite from the 1st house. So it's everything outside of the self. And we have instrument. Yeah. So this goes perfectly. Here, a literal instrument. So, what instruments are available for you to connect with the other, the other than self, the outside of self, right? There's an emphasis on that here. And for me, that's a lot of things, like my laptop, the internet, the cards, my guitar, my investments, right? All of that connects me with a larger community of people. Those are all instruments that create that connection in different ways. 8th house, we have gun. So this makes me think action, right? I'm not getting any like sinister vibes here. The 8th house is associated with Scorpio, so the gun makes sense, right? The stinger. But also, it's giving me this idea of like being focused on things that you share with others, right? Intimacy, shared resources, sex, death, secrets. That's all the 8th house. So it's this idea of aiming and firing and executing on the things around you, right? That you share with others, making sure that you're paying attention to it, you're being appreciative, you're taking care of it, like I was saying, and not being a burden, or like not adding more of a burden to a situation that's may already be burdensome in some way, right? But just being very aware of those things that are very intimate and being mindful of them, and not just like firing from the hip, but like being very focused and accurate in how you approach these things. 9th house is town, 9th house is Sagittarius. That is, focus, right? Kind of like I was saying about the gun, but this is the sign of being focused and like expanding your horizons, going on adventures, exploring new things in new places, right? Foreign places even. But town, the town around you could hold a lot of answers. Maybe you just need to get out there and kind of explore it more. That's what I see coming through here. 10 bedroom, interesting. There's a little bit of a dichotomy here, the town and the bedroom. So 10th house is the public facing house. This is the sign of Capricorn. This is a sign of like striving and achievement and what you're known for, things like that. And the bedroom. So this is giving me the idea of a bedroom is an intimate place, right? It's giving me 8th house vibes from that word. But in the 10th house, this is like sharing intimate parts of yourself with others so that you become known for such things, that you become known as a person who is very intimate and not afraid of intimacy. I, myself, was afraid of such things for a very long time, and to some degree, I still struggle with that, right? We all struggle with things at different degrees, but yeah, intimacy is scary for a lot of people, and over the past year, I've become a lot more comfortable with kind of putting myself out there. That's why I'm doing this channel, for one big reason. But it was a struggle, right? And now it's like, I don't know, it's giving me this idea of like, you're becoming known for just being comfortable with people. Like, hey, let's hang out and, I don't know, listen to me play my guitar and I'll play some songs for you. And then you can show me some of your stuff that you're doing. Or, you know, just like hanging out with a friend. That's kind of giving me this energy. But becoming known for that, it's kind of interesting. 11th house, support. Yeah, community support. The 11th house is larger communities, right? It's the humanitarian house, the sign of Aquarius, also to do with the future. So support for the future coming through here, which is great to hear. And then finally, the 12th house, amusement. Yeah, so the 12th house is the house of hidden things. It's also about endings. So this could be a very interesting time regarding the endings of larger cycles that are wrapping up now. As I said, we are now in the 1 year. Last year was a 9 year, so we are dealing with endings there too. But yeah, this idea of this being a very interesting, amusing time when things beneath the surface, maybe you hear some things that you didn't know were going on, and it's amusing. You know, it could even be related to this 5th house, could be kind of bait, you know, to get you sucked into these dramatic stories and pull focus from your calling, right? But don't take the bait. And it's okay to indulge a little bit, you know, but yeah, just be careful, you know. Balance. The bull and the tortoise. Keep that balance. Okay. I want to keep this video around 30 minutes today, and I am at the 32-minute mark. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. The advice was already clear throughout the message. I think the message today was just advice. It was advice about you following your dreams and your passions, your North Node, right? So, that being said, thank you for being here. If you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, links in the description. Yeah, as always. Oh, man. Sorry, excuse me. Confirmation burps. As always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. And bye.